This is one of the simplest ways to make a clean and stylish Bubu Kaftan top like this one on your screen. So in this video, I'm going to show you step by step on how to achieve it. So let's get started. So to make this top, we are making do with 33 inches of this leftover fabric I have. So fold it into two with 16 inches in length. It's a crepe fabric. So after folding into two, fold it again, which will be total of folding into four. Arrange it very well. Next, we are going to take the neck width of 6 inches. After marking 6 inches, we are going to take the neck depth of 4.5 for both the front and back. Connect the neck width to the neck depth. Next, we are not taking any shoulder slant. We are going to take the sleeve circumference of 11 inches. From that line of the 11 inches, mark it. From there, take your bust circumference. We are working with 40 divided by 4, which will give us 10 plus 2.5 inches seam allowance. Remember, it's a Bubu top, right? So we added 2.5 inches seam allowance. The total length we have is 30 inches. So next, we are going to take the half length, which is 17 inches. On that line of 17 inches, we are going to impute the bust circumference plus the seam allowance, which is 12.5. Now at the hemline, we are going to subtract 1 inch from the 12.5, which gave us 11.5. Make a curve at the armhole area and connect all the lines all the way down. So after connecting the lines, go up from the end of the fabric, go up from that point I am pointing, mark 6 inches. After marking 6 inches, connect it in a slant form to the tip of the center front, just as shown. Now it's time for us to cut what we have marked all out. Okay, so I'm currently working on my beginner sewing course, which is absolutely designed to help beginners learn step by step from scratch. So if you want to be among the first to learn when enrollment opens, please join my WhatsApp list today so that you have early updates and priority access when registration begins. So after cutting the sleeve area, the next thing is to notch the shoulder part. Okay, see that part, hold it and then notch it for you to know the center of the sleeve. Okay, after that, we are going to drop the neckline for both the front and the back, because we are using the same measurement for both the front and back. And then after which, we are going to notch the upper part. You see that part, the shoulder part again, notch it. It will serve as a guide while fixing the cape. So next, we are going to use this leftover fabric for the belts. We are not making an inner belt. We are going to place the belt by the side of the top. Okay, so we are going to use two pieces to one. We are going to join them and then sew it and turn it and iron it for the belt. So we are done. So the next thing we are going to do is to open up the top itself. Okay, now I'm going to use my tape to measure the circumference of the neckline. So after measuring, I got 15.78. So it's on fold, right? So we are going to cut 15.78 plus 15.78 plus the seam allowance for the sewing. So I'm using a black crepe fabric, okay, for the collar. So I folded it into two, and then the wideness we are using is 10 inches. So after marking 10 inches, I'm going to measure 33 inches. Remember, we got 15.78 plus 15.78 to make it round, plus the same allowance. So I'm using 33 inches. So after marking 33 inches, I'm going to follow that line, okay, and then I'm going to cut it out. Now this particular collar is not having any sharp edge, okay, so it is just like a straight piece, just the way you are seeing it on the screen. So I'm going to cut it out. Then after cutting it out, see what I'm going to do. I'm going to fold it into two, and then I'm going to mark the midpoint. The reason for marking the midpoint is for us to use that midpoint to place from one shoulder to the other part of the shoulder. All right, now I'm going to open it up. Okay, so we are going to head over to our sewing machine, and then we'll sew those parts and then fold this other part by half an inch. So now it is time for us to sew. We are sewing this other part first of all. After sewing this part, we are going to sew the next part as shown. So after sewing the second part, we are going to fold one of the edge with half an inch as explained earlier. So after sewing that half an inch all the way down to the other part of the joining, we are going to show you how it looks like, and then we are going to give it a good press for us to be able to start the joining process on the top. Okay, so next we are going to fold the sleeve. Okay, we are using 1 inch for the folding of the sleeve. So after folding this part, we are going to fold the next part, and then we are going to couple this time from the front side just as it is shown. Okay, so I'm coupling the sleeve all the way down to the side with 1/4 inch. I'll do the same for the other part, after which I will turn it and then measure from the shoulder point to a point of 16, which is the true waist length. I'm going to put my belt and pin. I will do the same for this other part, and then I'm going to put the belt. I'll use my pin to secure it. Then this time I'm going to couple it from the wrong side, just as the way you are seeing it on your screen. Okay, so couple the two sides. After coupling the two sides, the next thing is to fold the downside of the top. Okay, so that's what I'm doing. I'm following the shape exactly to fold. So after folding all the way around, the next thing for us to do is to put the cape on the top. So it is time for us now to pin the collar. So pin from the center of the collar to one shoulder point that we notched. Okay, so notched point to notch point. Okay, so I'm going to pin it all the way round. So I will pin it down to the other shoulder that we notched. So by the time you get to that shoulder, you realize that the cape has terminated on that side of the shoulder. Okay, so after pinning to that point, all right, I am now going to pin again from the center. See what I'm doing? I'll pin again from this other part down to the other notched part of the shoulder. So after pinning all round, it is time for me to sew. So I'm going to start from one part. I'll sew it all the way round to the other part, just as you can see on your screen. So I'm going to sew it all the way round. After sewing it, I'm going to tell us what next we are going to do to have a clean finish. So after sewing this part, okay, this is how it is looking. So see how we are going to cover the rough edges. Okay, so this other part that we folded 1/2 inch inwards is what we are using to cover the rough edge. You see how I'm sewing it? Arrange it very well, use it to cover the rough edges, the rough joining of the cape, and then sew it all the way round. Okay, so take your time to do this part so that you will have a clean and professional finish. Okay, so take your time to sew it all the way round. Don't be in a haste. Take your time to sew it all the way down. All right, so after sewing all the way down, we are done with the top. So after sewing to the end, okay, so this is how the top is looking. It's looking very neat. Okay, as you can see, so this is it, the inside, the back, the sleeve, everything is on point. So now we are going to use needle and thread to pleat that part and sew it. After sewing it, our model is going to wear this outfit for us to see the outcome. This dress is perfect on my model. So before you go, click on the next video on your screen to learn another beautiful style that you can sew and sell. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in the next one. I am Lois Ada.